I was riding with the team when they got the chip. Before the Chevrolets and the lobster. I remember Elway's helicopter. I'm telling you that man was a monster. Way before he had his hands on a roster. He turned the Broncos to a powerhouse. So you know I got a shout out to Johnny. Elway, he important, man. He the reason that I'm always rocking on his man. Always gotta rock orange, that's just how
What is up, Broncos Country? How we doing tonight? My name's Kevdan, and you are watching Beer Broncos No BS on Orange Weekly. Got a lot of stuff to break down tonight, including mostly focused on the San Francisco-Denver game that happened last night, which was our third preseason game. We did lose that one, but again, it's preseason, guys. Scores don't matter. We do have some good stuff to talk about, some bad stuff to talk about, and as always, we are more interested into hearing what you guys have to say and all of the questions you want to ask. We already have Ryan up in here. How you doing today? If you're watching on Broncos World Order, wherever you're watching from, post those comments, questions, and we'll try to get to them. So, with that being said, I usually have one of the other Orange Weekly members here with me tonight, and tonight we have none other than Jared. No, that's not Jared. That's David. Usually Jared wears the glasses. Sorry, I got confused, man.
So we're going to work on that next time, and we'll make sure we don't have any of those kind of mix-ups again. But I am David. I'm here with you guys tonight on a beautiful Tuesday night to talk some Bronco football. It's great to be here on Orange Weekly.
It's always great to be here in Orange Weekly, right? And I know your audio kind of cut out there because I think it was probably my fault. But anyway, we do have a ton of people watching, and so again, start posting your comments, questions, but we're going to get this rolling. Ryan, how are you doing? You're becoming a constant viewer on this show, and we really appreciate that. He says, our defense looks good. Not going to get too excited about the season yet, but dang, that defense looks good. So, I'm personally over preseason games, and we'll talk about why later on. But David hits a good point. I want to start out with some pros here, David. Obviously, people are so nitpicky nowadays, especially in preseason. All the negative stuff tends to stand out and highlight itself. So let's start with this. Let's talk about some positive things. I think Ryan hits the nail on the head with one of the major positives, the defense. What did you see from that, man?
Oh, man. First of all, I want to make sure you can hear me. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Great. Okay. The defense looked fantastic. I was a little bit skeptical as to, when Fangio was hired, I was certainly excited about that. I knew it was one of the greatest defensive minds in the NFL today coming to coach the Denver Broncos as head coach. But I didn't know if we had the talent to stack up to some of our more, our historically good defense in 2015, certainly. But we just, there's been a little bit of an erosion of talent, especially at cornerback, in the inside linebacker position, which hasn't, to some fans been fully addressed. But I will say I am really, really excited to see what we can get from this Vic Fangio defense this year. We saw last night Shelby Harris and Bradley Chubb just absolutely destroyed Jimmy Garoppolo. It was his first game back this year after a year being away from football, and boy, did he look like it. He was not sharp, and those guys made him look foolish at times, and that offensive line a little bit for the San Francisco 49ers. So I'm really, really excited about what kind of push we can get up front. And the guys behind them took advantage when they got those opportunities. You saw Isaac Yiadom with the interception off of a Bradley Chubb pressure. We almost had, a guaranteed pick six to Devontae Bosby. He just, he dropped that ball. But he still had a really great play on it thanks to some more pressure. And Shelby Harris had two batted balls in the first two drives. So, some really, really positive things to look out for. I think this defense, and that's what you're going to see from this defense, pressure up front and that zone defense behind, creating these opportunities for turnovers, because we saw it last night. It was illustrated very well on the telecast. You see with this defense, the defensive backfield has their eyes on the quarterback at all times, so they're able to both read and react quickly and get to the ball before the receiver can in a lot of cases.
Dude, I think that's the I don't know if I could say any better myself. There are a lot of good things, and what the Chubb Von Miller combination has me what it reminds me of is that DeMarcus Ware Von Miller combination we saw back in the Peyton Manning days. And that's exciting. That's
I think
exciting.
it's going to be. I think it can be even more potent than that. I don't want to say that Bradley Chubb is as good as Khalil Mack. Obviously, he hasn't been in the league that long. He hasn't earned that reputation as of yet. But I do think he's going to be a player that takes a huge step forward this year in the Fangio system, and I think that we could be talking about him easily as the Broncos' most dominant defensive player at this time next year. Nothing to take away from Von Miller. He's still a Super Bowl MVP and a perennial All-Pro candidate. But it's very, very possible that we could be talking about Bradley Chubb a little bit more this time next year, just because of the step forward that I think he's due to take this year.
I think we saw it already. I mean, the fact that he's playing this well, and that was a starting offensive line. Now, again, preseason, so a lot of them aren't going 100%. But to see that explosiveness from him, I honestly thought, especially that strip sack he had early on, I thought that was Von Miller.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even realize until he stood up that was Bradley Chubb. It just looked so reminiscent of Von Miller that it was shocking. So huge play from him. Derek, you say Emmanuel Sanders looks real good. Completely agree. We're going to get to that here in a minute when we talk about the offense. But we do have Christopher, how you doing? Carol, Denver Broncos for life. Agreed. We also have Barbara, go Broncos. David says, after hearing Fangio say first teamers are going to start doing special teams, I'm concerned about special teams. Nothing special about them at the moment anyway. Again, very good comment. So I don't know if I want to move away from defense yet. We'll come back to it. How's that sound?
We'll cover the special teams. That will be a topic of conversation.
Yes. I still want to start by focusing more on the positive. Because once you start talking about the negative, that's, I think, where we're going to stay. You talked about Shelby Harris. Man, what a baller. I mean, if he plays like that every game, that's going to be fantastic. Secondary looked good. Now, the one thing that had me worried about the defense was the backup defense. Does that concern you all about the depth we have? And if we have to start putting those players in there, is that really going to impact how the defense plays and how they, keep doing whatever they're doing right now?
Well, at some positions, inside linebacker is one that, especially in terms of the run defense, we didn't see Todd Davis in there last night, obviously. And San Francisco was able to run the ball effectively at times in the first quarter when they wanted to. I think, obviously, Todd Davis being a pretty decent run defender, you're going to see that close up a little bit in the regular season as he returns. And I think also we are seeing a little bit of that defensive backfield depth as we speak. Last night, Bryce Callahan didn't play, one of our big free agent pickups this offseason. He's been practicing, but he had a foot injury a little bit earlier in camp that they wanted to keep him out of preseason action if they could make sure he's ready to go and fresh for the regular season. But he will be in there starting week 1. I don't believe Kareem Jackson played last night either, and he is definitely going to be a week 1 starter for this team at safety. So there are a couple of guys in there already who are going to be more in a depth role as the season goes forward, like Devontae Bosby. Is not going to see the field as much as he has in this preseason, but he's shown us that when he does need to go and take those snaps, he can be very effective doing that. So I'm less concerned about the defensive backfield, up front with the front 7, especially, like I said, those inside linebackers we'll have to see. Outside linebacker, I think we've got some depth there. Dakota Watson showed last night that I think he's going to be a solid veteran at number 3 there. And then maybe, a Malik Reed, an undrafted free agent rookie, can come in and take that 4th outside linebacker spot. Inside linebacker is a little bit of a concern. Defensive line, I think we've got enough reserves there, hopefully, to keep attrition from wearing down that defensive line and keep it effective. We'll probably keep Zach Kerr as the backup nose tackle so that Shelby Harris can stay fresh and do his inside pass rush that he's become pretty important for here in Denver. We've seen, and keep batting those balls down too. I think that's pretty important to what we want to do, Kev.
That's hugely important. Guys, my name's Kev Dan. I'm joined here by David. You are watching Beer Broncos No BS, the show where we are not going to BS you at all in terms of what we thought, and we expect the same from you guys. Tell us how you thought the game went. What were your impressions? And we may not agree on everything, and that's fine. End of the day, we're all Broncos fans. We want to see them. So if you could help us out, hit that share button, and we're going to keep the ball on rolling here. We got more people commenting over here. We see Gabriel. How you doing? We had 2 interceptions last night, I believe. Almost that third from Bosby. Now, Russell says the whole team looked horrible. They all need to wake up. Now, Russell, here's where I'm going to disagree with you, man. That defense that starting defense did not look terrible by any means. There were other things that did look terrible, and I think this is the perfect time to let's just go ahead and move into special teams. And we'll talk about some positive for the offense when we get to that. Were there any positives on special teams? Minus McManus's 52-yard field goal at the end of the half.
Well, the positives that I can ring up right now are that nobody lost a punt. There was one muffed punt, but they recovered it. And no returns for touchdowns were allowed. Now, that's not a great list of positives, but I was watching before the game a little bit the follies of Tampa Bay on special teams a week ago. I can't remember that, but go look it up because it's pretty. It'll put it in perspective a little bit for you, Broncos country. That being said, with Fangio saying that he's thinking about putting starters in on special teams, clearly some stuff has to get cleaned up pretty fast. And, it's not been a real concern of mine up to this point because special teamers, especially outside of your very starting unit, you've got guys playing on special teams in preseason who are going to be selling insurance and cell phones during the regular season. So I'm not, it's not something that gets me overly concerned until your head coach says he's starting to think about putting starters in at those positions. So we'll have to see how it plays out as far as the regular season comes along. It definitely bears watching. I'm not panicking about it right now. I would say my panic meter is at about a 5 of 10 right now. I'm concerned, but it's technically the second week of preseason. I know it's the third Broncos preseason.
It's confusing.
Game. But we'll see what happens as we go forward into the regular season. That's really the only time we're going to be able to get a real accurate gauge of where we are on special teams. But it's a little concerning for right now, Kev.
The only reason, David, and I completely agree with that. The only reason I'm a little more concerned, maybe at a 7.5, might even be pushing an 8, is because this has been such a concern for the team for multiple years in a row. And I'd like to look back and say, hey, that was all Vance Joseph's fault. But at the end of the day, we were 32nd in punt returns last year. We were 27th in kick returns last year. Neither of those had any returns for a touchdown. None.
Yep.
Okay, we weren't the worst team on kickoff returns, but when it came to punt returns, there's no 33 teams in the league.
Nope.
There's only 32, and that was us. So this is why I'm more concerned, is because it is such a trend.
Yeah.
My other thing, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 games we played so far, did we walk away from any of those games with 0 injuries? I'm pretty sure we had an injury on each one of these 3 games where we've lost someone.
Yeah. And
so now we're talking about we're starting to put starters back there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that at all.
Right, especially when your depth is already shaky at positions like tight end and linebacker, who your backup linebackers and tight ends are who you kind of count on special teams to really kind of be your enforcers there. And since we're so low in that area as it is, I think we're, putting starters in there is definitely a gamble as far as an injury goes. We've not had great luck as far as that goes. Just ask Drew Lock and his poor sprained thumb. So, Noah Fant's ankle, thank goodness, could have been a lot worse, and he will not be missing any significant time, it sounds like. But let's just have enough with the injuries. How about? I don't know what would I have to knock on, but I will give anything a try just to keep these Broncos healthy for the rest of the season. We just got Emmanuel Sanders back. Everybody was feeling great about that, and he looked terrific last night. We'll get a little bit more to the offense in a little bit, but that's one thing I'm agreeing with you all the way. If we can have a little bit better luck on injuries, that would be super, especially when it comes to special teams depth.
I think I said this in the Orange Weekly chat we had earlier today. Man, I hope this is just us getting all the injuries out of the way early versus having this be a trend all year. But I am looking forward to playing a game where we don't lose anyone of any significance. You're right. If we had lost Noah Fant, man, we would be. It's going to be 2018 all over again with the issues in the tight end room of them staying healthy. And we just cannot afford that. But special teams in general, man, they need to step up and do something, figure something out. Again, it is preseason. I get it. Let's say I'm only at a 7.5. You're at a 5 in terms of worried scale. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at the stats and I'm saying, let's turn this around, and then I'll start feeling better. But heck, at this point, I'd be okay if we just didn't show up for the other 2 preseason games, man. We've had 3. We've had at least 3 or 4 major injuries that are really going to hurt us going into the start of the season. And if we just forfeit those games, let them scrimmage themselves. The other team this week it's going to be. Oh man, I didn't even update the banner there. Oh no, I
I
did.
believe
San
it's the
Francisco,
Rams.
the
Yeah.
Rams. So if the Rams would just want to, scrimmage themselves and we just sit on the sideline and watch,
Yeah.
I'm perfectly fine with that. But I am
Good for me.
over preseason. I'm over these injuries, and I think we've seen enough. That's
Mhm.
just me personally. Obviously, that's not going to happen, but I like
No,
to see that.
no, yeah. Players get paid for those preseason games. Probably not a lot, but
But still,
yeah,
and it's money. I get it. Okay,
yeah.
Tyler. Once he wants to ask why Kareem Jackson or Will Parks didn't play, I think we just talked about that. We kind of touched on it. Kind of just keeping them healthy. I don't think they really needed to play. We pretty much know what they're capable of. Let's see. Ryan asked good questions. Go over back here. Clyde, how you doing? Tonya, how you doing? David, right? We did. Did we switch our S&D staff? I don't think so, but I'm not sure. He also asked, yeah, strength and conditioning. So I'd like to say that we're a pretty well conditioned team. Practicing up, in Denver is where we practice, obviously, and then we had that extra week of practice before most other teams did. With the Hall of Fame game. So I'm not too worried about strength and conditioning, but that kind of leads me into one of my other worries that Ryan does hit on, that red zone offense. Now, we saw Flacco go out there. Flacco looked like an NFL quarterback. The closest thing to it that we've seen since Peyton Manning. And I do not want to compare him to Peyton Manning because that's for apples and oranges.
Yeah, crazy.
But the way Flacco was playing, David, what do you think? But me, man, some of those throws he was making, how patient he was, him stepping up into some of those, the gaps, and he saw those. He just had a good vision of the field overall,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I
There's
liked
a
it.
Yeah, no, there's a play that stood out to me. Of course, I think it probably stood out to everybody. It was a 21-yard completion to Cortland Sutton, right up the middle into that part of the field where you've got to have those big boy quarterback stones to throw it. And he found a soft spot in that zone and rifled it in there under pressure. There were a couple of guys bearing down on him. And that was one thing that, it's just and when I can see why you bring up Peyton Manning, just because we haven't had that level of professionalism at quarterback since
Not even
Peyton
close.
Manning left. Yeah, no, it's been sorely lacking. And just a guy to have pocket presence and to have that awareness and to be able to step up and deliver a throw under that situation and not, just run off the field in a 3-and-out situation, but get a chunk play out of it instead. That's something that we've been missing from that quarterback position for a while now. So I think if we can, that's something to keep optimistic about. If we can keep him upright, which is a pretty decent if. But he's in a system where he's going to feel very, very comfortable. We heard it multiple times last night on the telecast that Flacco feels very, very comfortable playing in this system, and can obviously do it well. So if we can keep him healthy, the offense will go as far as he and Emmanuel Sanders will take it, because they can take it a pretty long way, judging by what we saw last night. Emmanuel Sanders was absolutely electric, and that Joe Flacco chemistry is going to be something to keep an eye on all year. I think they've already got it down.
Dude, that connection that you're talking about. I mean, look, the big thing was when Emmanuel went out last year, we lost the last 4 games of the season. Is that because we lost Emmanuel Sanders? That was a good reason for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to have him back, the fact he had 2 ankle surgeries over the offseason, man, he comes back out and he is looking fantastic. The speed, the way he moves around the field, it looks like nothing even happened, like he never missed a beat.
Didn't skip a beat. That's beautiful.
It's very beautiful. But you're right. The way he's playing, the way Flacco is playing, I'm just excited that we can convert on third downs, and we have a quarterback that's not going to throw. If it's a third and 10, he's not going to throw a 5-yard pass and hope the other player gets it. I mean, we're going for, if it's third and 10, we're shooting for 12, 13, 14 plus yards to make that happen. So it's not even close.
And there's just that feeling that you have with a quarterback back there who can make those throws. When you see him uncork one and you're kind of waiting for him to pan over to the receiver and see what he's throwing at over there. And you just, with some quarterbacks, you don't even have to wait for him to pan over. You know what I mean? Whatever I see when they get to the other side of the field, my guy's not going to get it. He doesn't have a chance. There's a 1 to 5% chance this ball gets caught by my team. It's just nice to have a guy back there who you can, there's a reasonable chance. Let's see what happens on the other side of this.
Sure. And I mean, we were moving the ball. We're moving the ball very well. Before I go on, Bless, you are here all the time. Welcome back to the show. Yes, Chubb will make a big impact this year. Completely agree. But I'm glad to have you guys back. Really quickly, everyone, my name is Kev Dan. I am joined by David here on Beer Broncos. No BS, answering all of your Broncos questions. So, offense, looking much better than the last couple of years. Moving the ball down the field. However, Ryan, worried about the run game and red zone scoring. In terms of the red zone scoring, that's got to get fixed. Otherwise, again, if we cannot score touchdowns in the red zone, it's not going to happen every single time. But if we can't get a majority of touchdowns, we will be a 6-10 team.
Yeah, that's it. That's facts. And it's again kind of
Preseason.
where my panic scale is pretty low on this
Yeah.
one right now. Yeah, I'd say 4, 3, 4.
I'm at like a 6 because again, the trend.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just preseason, and you're not going to show a ton of your more exotic stuff in the red zone, the gadget plays and the stuff that you really have confidence are going to punch it in for you, because you want to save that stuff for the regular season when it counts. But it's, again, just something that's going to bear watching over the season. It has been a trend historically over the past few years that I think will be improved by better quarterback play, especially, something we were just talking about with Joe Flacco and how to execute once you get inside the 20. I think he's going to have a little bit better understanding of that than any of our quarterbacks over the past few seasons, and that's going to help us a lot. So it's just going to bear watching through the season as we go forward, because like you say, it has been a trend over the past few years where we've been settling for field goals and relying on a lights out defense to keep us in games until we can eventually maybe punch it in, even with a defensive score. You can't operate that way in today's NFL. You've got to be able to put up points, especially in a division with Kansas City and Los Angeles. You just got to be able to score touchdowns. So I think it's, something like I said, bears watching, but I'm not that concerned about it right now.
I'm so here we are talking about the AFC West. Yeah, we have. Oh man, especially when we're in division with Kansas City and the Chargers. Let's not even. I mean, the Raiders aren't even in that conversation, man.
No, and they have out Antonio Brown, but that,
no, they
if
don't.
he ever gets on the field, that could be messy. But that's at this point seems like a pretty big if. So.
Oh man, I just love that. We're like, oh man, the only ones that are even relatively important are the Chiefs and the Chargers.
Derek Carr, yeah, all right. Okay.
I like that. Okay. Derek has a good point. Yes, David, we did keep the same special teams coach. That I don't know if that's gonna work out. It needs to. But David and Derek both bring up Garrett Bowles. David says Bowles looked okay last night. It sucked that his only bad play was on the bomb to Sanders. Obviously, I'm calling him gumballs because as soon as he touches you, he sticks to you. He's still also Garrett Holds, whatever you want to call him. That huge penalty. And what struck me with that is, yes, he was getting beat, and he knew that we were going for the long pass, right? And that's where he reverted back to everything we had seen in the last 2 years. The holding, the freaking out. But even then, he was getting pushed back 5 yards pretty much on every play. Now, his technique I'm no expert, okay? I can see that he's not holding the person. It seems like he's playing with better technique, and that's Mike Munchak right there, But he seems to be ready to revert to that old self that we've seen for way too long as soon as he's under pressure. Now, that's also impacting the run game. You know who our leading rusher was last night?
Well, it was
Kevin Hogan.
Yeah, it was
Kevin Hogan. Who the second leading rusher was last night? Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
So now I think they kind of, not just Bowles, but the offensive line and the run game.
Yeah, the offensive line got pushed around a little bit last night. And
we saw the same thing the week before too.
Yeah, and unfortunately, even with some of San Francisco's starters out there out last night not playing, they still got their lunch handed to them a little bit, especially in the run game. Just another part that's going to bear watching. It's going to make the difference between Denver being a mediocre team record-wise and being a playoff team this year is this offensive line. If they can get it together, before the regular season is a quarter old. If they can get it, in the first 2 to 3 games and really start to gel as a unit and bring themselves together, I think you've got one of the spunkier teams in the NFL to watch out for in the Denver Broncos. If they can't, then that's probably going to hold your team back to maybe a 6, 7, 8 win season, just because you don't have enough offensive execution. Thanks to your offensive line. Garrett Bowles is going to be a huge part of that this year. And whether we can count on him to take another step forward under Mike Munchak or not is really going to be a huge part of whether the offensive line is able to come together as a whole. Now, this is my biggest panic level. I know your hair is already on fire about it, Kevin, so I'm not even going to ask your number. But mine, I would say at this point is a 6 out of 10 for this. We'll just have to see how it goes, I guess. I do still think that he can turn into a serviceable to above average starter in the NFL, but it's up to him to prove it, and his time is rapidly running out. It's the kind of thing with him where he has at this point in his career played not just more NFL games than he ever played in college, but a lot more. And he's on his third offensive coordinator and run scheme in his time in the league. For a guy who was a 25-year-old rookie, that takes some catching up to. But unfortunately for him, he was a 25-year-old rookie, so he doesn't have as much time as everybody else to get it worked out. He's got the right coach now, and there's not going to be any excuses this year. He's got to either learn and really lock down that job for himself, or I think that's going to be a big area that the Broncos are looking in free agency in the draft next year.
And that sucks because I want Garrett Bowles to work out.
Mm-hmm.
Forget the Garrett holds and the gumballs for a second. Yes, I give that guy a really hard time. I want him to work out. Everyone that's watching, you should want Garrett Bowles to become that starter, that left tackle that we drafted him to be in 2017. If he doesn't work out, that means the entire 2017 draft class was an entire bust. Because Garrett Bowles is the best player that we drafted from 2017, easily. And if he's gone, if he doesn't pan out, then we might as well have not even drafted anyone in 2017, because that's essentially where we're at right now. So yes, Garrett holds. Yeah, what?
And that's you can't just give up draft classes like that.
Especially a number round pick.
Entire draft classes that just don't work out like that. It does not work when you're trying to build a team.
No, that draft, and I think even the 2016 draft really set us back. And it seems I want to see these rookies perform this year, in the real game. So I don't want to, get ahead of myself here.
Sure.
But having another draft that's almost as good as last year's would be huge. But that 2017 draft, that put us behind, I'd say at least 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, no, as good as that 2018 draft class was, 2017's was worse. Was that bad and worse. So it's, we've seen like we've turned that corner on drafts. Let's just hope that, that's a whole other conversation for another time. Yeah. But, as we roll into the regular season and see what kind of depth we have and what kind of depth we have to have going forward, that's going to be a big part of what we're going to be looking at going. That's where you fill out those bottom 10 to 15 roster spots is with those 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round draft picks. And if they're not on the team, how can they contribute for you?
Completely agree. Ziggy says, but at some point reality sets in. Maybe you're at a 6 on this. I'm at a 7. So I'm not, hair's totally not on fire right now. Not
right.
Totally. Okay. I'm not sitting there panic. I'm not in panic mode like some people are. It's just preseason. Right. Just preseason.
Yeah.
But some of the thing that gets me is that the trends that we've seen the last 2 years seem to be the exact same negative trends we're seeing right now.
Yeah. And, I think a big portion of that is that just, Bradley Chubb said something that a little bit earlier that I thought was really, really kind of illuminating. The last couple of years, he said that guys were kind of rebelling against the coach.
I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of, and that made me kind of think back to some plays where it seemed like guys were maybe freelancing last year, doing their own thing, especially on defense, and kind of got me thinking maybe a lot of that, there's a lot of culture that has to change. Vic Fangio has famously said that he doesn't really believe in that word culture, but for somebody who doesn't believe in culture, he has been doing his utmost to establish his own here in Denver. Kind of a debate that cropped up recently was the tradition of rookie haircuts, which we all remember from training camp. Fangio decided to discontinue it, and that's to me, whatever you want to call it, that's a culture building move. That's you saying, this is what we're going to do in my franchise. I'm the head coach here. If you want to play here, great. I want you, but you're going to do it my way. We're going to come together on these things and not have this friction. Some people believe it brings friction. Other people believe it brings the team together. But Fangio decided it wasn't going to be a part of his tradition, and that was the end of it. So, and that was that was the other part that Bradley Chubb said, that now guys are coming onto the same page with their coaching staff. It's not about rebelling against the coaching staff anymore. It's about working on the same page as the coaching staff, because they can get you to that next level where you want to be as a player.
We all saw it last year. I think we knew something was up, especially with Stuart Cravens. I think he was one of them. I don't think with a lot of things Vance Joseph did in terms of managing players, he definitely did not handle that right. But it makes more sense now that we've heard that, from that inside source, to say that, yeah, they were having a lot of issues between players and the coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
Even more so, reason why I wish that, Vance Joseph would have been a one and done coach versus give him the second year. Obviously, everyone's probably heard the news that Mike Shanahan said he was really close to coming back as they coach in 2018, but obviously with some other things going on, that didn't work, especially with there's still some animosity, between Pat Bowlen and him, and Mike Shanahan. So it worked out for the best, I think, because we do have Vic Fangio now and the Broncos Mafia running the show, and it's good to see that players are buying into his system and his coaching style and his leadership style. So, but Ziggy says he would rebel too if Kermit the Frog was his coach, and he says Vance Joseph is half frog, half turtle. Yep, agreed. And his defense doesn't look too good this year anyway. Anyway, moving on. David does make a good point. Does losing Jano for an extended period of time, does that hurt our run game? I say yes.
Well, and it's the kind of thing where you've got to see what you've got in your backup fullback now. George Aston, we saw last night. I didn't see him in the run game stand out either, good or bad. I believe he caught one pass that unfortunately was tackled at the line of scrimmage, so that didn't look too good. But, it's the kind of thing where you're just going to have to see what he's got. And the Scangarello offense does rely pretty heavily on the fullback as well as tight ends, not just in the run game, but to kind of disguise the things you're trying to do in the run game and the pass game. I believe last season under San Francisco's offense, the fullback was the second leading receiver or third leading receiver on the team. Now, they didn't have a lot of wide receiver depth, and obviously George Kittle was going to be number one there. But the fullback caught something like 70 passes for them last season, and that's that's a big part of what Scangarello wants to do in his offense. It's part of the way he likes to disguise what he means to do and then set up further, those big plays down the field when they're expecting you to check down to the fullback. So it's a big part of it, and we'll have to see if George Aston can handle the route running and the blocking assignments that he's going to be tasked with, and he's going to have to step in and play a big role almost immediately until Janovich comes back.
Yep, we need those players to step up. Unfortunately, they don't have a lot of time, especially the rookies and everything like that. It has to be done. Now they have a couple more weeks to get it going, and with the way the Raiders are looking like a complete. Man, they look absolutely terrible with everything going on in their locker room. I'm kind of glad we're starting with them. Maybe give us a little more time to really prep. I don't think they're going to be that big of a challenge, but again, week one football, oh my God, the craziest things happen on week
total
one.
Crapshoot.
So I don't.
Monday night in Oakland.
Oh God.
Don't count your chickens, Broncos country. I know Hard Knocks makes them look like they're total dumpster fire, but anything can happen in there.
They make themselves look like that, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping we obviously come out with full strength and just really kind of dominate that game to really build some confidence. But I think at the end of the day, for me personally, the reason why I'm worried about the run game, and which is going to impact my how worried I am about the passing game, is that offensive line. man, if we can't get a run game going, even with Philip Lindsay back there, as we saw last night, I mean, even the screens couldn't get set up well. Every time they did try to do a screen, it maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. But that run game, man, I mean, first down, we ran, we'd lose a yard. Second down, we'd run, or we'd lose 2 yards. Now it's 2nd and 12. We'd run again and we'd lose another yard. Okay, so we're not even making it back to the line of scrimmage. And how can we expect in the regular season to have any sort of passing game when our run game absolutely gets shut down? And I need to see in this next Saturday's game against the Rams, I've got to see our offensive line go out and play consistently well. I don't want to say consistent, just consistently well, and not get just absolutely pushed back like I've seen the last 2 weeks, especially that left side with Bowles. I'm sorry, I have to see him not get pushed back 5 yards on every pass play.
Well, and Philip Lindsay said, and take this for what it's worth, Philip Lindsay did say today that they were trying to work out some stuff in the passing game, and we're featuring that a little bit more last night.
Sure.
They didn't have as many run sets to go with in the first place. But you're totally right, and everybody who watched last night's game saw it. Like we said earlier, the front guys, those offensive linemen just got manhandled in the trenches a little bit, and they've got another tough one coming up this week with Aaron Donald. He's only going to play, of course, 1 or 2 series, maybe a full quarter since it's the 3rd preseason game. But we're not going to see him a whole lot. But when we do see him out there, it's going to be a pretty important test for our guys. In the middle there, especially, we've got McGovern at center, who's never, this is his first full year as starting at center. He's had some issues with the snap. It sounds and seems like they've been ironing that out a little bit. Hasn't been benching as much in camp. Didn't have as many problems last night, at least with Flacco. There were a couple bobbled exchanges with Locke.
That was more Locke's fault. But
right, yeah, he hasn't spent a lot of time under center either, and we'll get to him. But McGovern, Reisner, the rookie, he's going to have his hands full when Aaron Donald's in there. Whoever's going to be playing in for Ron Leary, they haven't been playing him this preseason either, kind of keeping him back and making sure he's as healthy as possible for the regular season. So they're going to have another tough test against this Rams front seven next week, and you're right, have to step up and show that they can be the aggressors in the trenches, push those running lanes open, and make sure that they're back in pass protection and keeping Joe Flacco clean.
Joshua says offensive line needs to be nasty. They need to find out their mean streak, get angry, and dominate that line. Completely agree, man. Some things I saw just from the stat sheet that stood out to me right away. Now, guys, again, preseason, and again, I'm Kev Dan, joined here by David. Beer Broncos, no BS. Grab that beer if you haven't already. Hit that share button. Really appreciate it. But some stats here that stood out. We had 71 plays. San Francisco had 52. Our time of possession, 34, almost 35 minutes. They had 25 minutes. So we had 20 more plays and 10 plus more minutes of more time of possession. And the game still got away from us. Obviously, those field goals at the beginning killed us. We could have made that game 21-3, but instead it was 9-3, and then we weren't able to score anything in the second half. Now, starters had sat by that point, trying out different things. It's not all about winning, right? But if we are able to have the time to run that amount of plays compared to them, David, does that stand out? Again, preseason, I get it, but in general, wouldn't you think that any team that has that many more plays and time of possession would do better than scoring 9 points?
This one does nothing for me.
Okay.
With preseason and with your third and fourth stringers in there by the end of the game, guys aren't going to be very effective.
Let's look at the first half then. Let's just divide those numbers in half.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right, but now, are you dividing those numbers in half, or are you looking at the first half numbers? Because there's a difference there.
I don't have the first half numbers.
That gives me nothing.
Oh man, touche, good sir.
So
I don't know. I know I'm reaching here. I'm reaching here,
and I get it because it's preseason, and you really want to see these things look as good as possible, as much as possible. And when they don't,
I want them to look cleaner and more consistent.
Right. Absolutely. But, it's the kind of thing where I think we're just going to have to wait and see as far as it goes. I think we're going to see a little more red zone efficiency this year. I think we are going to see a little bit improved offensive line play this year. I think these things are going to improve incrementally instead of enough to turn this into a playoff team this year. I think we're going to see marginal improvements leading to bigger improvements next year, when I think and hope that maybe we can end the Joe Flacco experience after a single year out of, kind of what I've seen out of Drew Lock this preseason tells me that he's got a long way to go, but I don't know that it's going to have to be more than a year. I feel like if we come into next year and start a strong training camp, see a strong training camp start out of Drew Lock, that's going to lead to a bigger and brighter future for Broncos country. And I think that's definitely possible with what we've seen. He's not ready yet, but he could be by this time next year.
But I've seen those flashes.
Yeah,
I've seen those flashes of, wow, that's good.
Right. I've seen those throws that make me think, wow, that is a big boy play in the NFL. He had one. I can't remember who he threw. He had one to this week. The one that really stands out to me from this entire preseason is that throw to, unfortunately, Austin Fort when he blew out his ACL. But man, what a throw! He hit it was right there. He lofted it right in between into the middle of his zone and
right into his hands. Wasn't that the one where he didn't even see the ball until it was like in his hands?
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, the ball's in my hands. I got it."
I tied in, running up the middle in between three defenders, and he put it right where it needed to be to get him in stride. That was a big boy NFL throw, and that's what makes me excited for this kid's potential. But until then, we're just going to have to see. I think we can have a roster with the talent on it to succeed this season, but some guys have to put it together and really not just take one step forward. They're going to have to take at least 2 steps forward if they want to make the playoffs.
Guys, hit that share button for us. Really appreciate it. Also, make sure you remember that tomorrow night we'll be doing our first Good, Bad, and Ugly show on getvocal.com. It will be streamed here to Facebook as well, but if you go to getvocal.com, you see how it's spelled there in the bottom of your screen. You have the chance to come up on stage with us, if you will. Call in if you want to be on camera and talk with us while we're live. You can do that. Or just keep posting your comments and questions like you normally do here on Tuesday night, and we can talk to you that way as well. But go to getvocal.com. They have a ton of variety of shows, a huge variety of shows that basically whatever you're interested in, I guarantee they have a show for it, and you can do the same thing with them, including with what we do there. So tomorrow night, Wednesday night, and then during the regular season, we'll have that Wednesday night show going every week, just like we have the Tuesday show. We'll also be starting up our podcast here before too long. Season is right around the corner. So I think, again, David's going to be the stand-in Jared for the time being while he's off being busy and important. But that's fine. We got a good staff here. So David and Matt, mostly with Jared, I'm sure, helping out as much as he can on the pre-game podcast. And then Tanner and Jeff will be focusing on the post-game podcast. One last thing before I continue the conversation, guys. Remember, if you want to win, have a chance to win this Peyton Manning plaque, you go to our patreon.com page and search for Orange Weekly. We would love your support. The way you guys already watch our shows, post comments, man, we absolutely love it. Eric Landers did donate last week, but he has some entries not only to win the monthly prize, but the season-ending prize as well. And there will be some exclusive content coming out at the beginning of the season as well that you'll only be able to see if you become a Patreon donor. So please head over there. We would really appreciate your support that way as well. Okay, David, let's get back to it. Man, offense. I know we've talked a lot of bad things about the offense, but what other... I mean, we talked about Emmanuel Sanders. We talked about Joe Flacco looking good. Was there anything else, I guess, across the board from the entire team that you think really stood out in terms of something that looked good?
I was happy with the receivers, the starting receivers. Derek makes a really good point here about the offense. No run game, no play action, he says, and that's a pretty, before we get too positive into the offense again, that's a pretty good point. This offense is that West Coast offense, a little bit like Gary Kubiak ran. The Shanahan family has run it from Mike up till Kyle now currently has run a variation of it, and Scangarello runs a different variation of it. But we all know that it's based on the run, setting up the run first, and then using the run to set up play action passes where you can take deeper shots down the field. So if you don't have that run game to keep the quarterbacks, corners, and safeties honest, you're not going to have a lot of success running those deeper routes. Now, we did face a lot of loaded boxes last night. That was one thing I did notice. We had a lot of eight-man fronts against San Francisco. But one of the things that Fangio has stressed this season is that he wants to put his guys in tough situations to see how they respond. So, in fact, it would not surprise me last night to hear that some of the coaches ran out of lighter formations. They knew that they were going to be facing those heavier boxes and decided to run out of lighter protections and lighter formations to see if their guys can handle their assignments one-on-one, they didn't stand up as well. So that's going to, we're just going to have to scheme around that. And hopefully that run game is well improved by week 1. But turning back to to your question and the positives in the offense, receiver depth,
Right.
really kind of stood out to me as something that I think was a question mark going into training camp, certainly. And we still have a very young group of guys there. But, we saw Cortland Sutton, like we talked about earlier, make a big boy catch. Emmanuel Sanders is back as advertised, and if he can stay healthy all year, he's the energy of this offense. Joe Flacco might be the driver of this offense, but Emmanuel Sanders is the engine. The power comes from him, the excitement comes from him, and his energy is infectious. When it spreads to those other guys, we saw Tim Patrick take a jet sweep last night and make a pretty effective run out of it.
Sure.
That's not a guy that I think of as a guy who's a speed demon. But when you can scheme up those things effectively, when you can do those things, it really opens up your playbook for what else you can do. And having those wide receivers that can do that, Deshaun Hamilton looked very good in the slot role last night. He caught a couple of passes from Flacco, and they looked very comfortable throwing and catching to each other. So it's going to be one of those things. If we can keep those wide receivers active all season long, get some guys to take big steps up like Sutton and Hamilton, some young guys, we're really going to see something out of this offense if Flacco can deliver it to them on time.
Agreed. The depth there, I am not worried about at all. Last year, especially after we trade away DT, it was Emmanuel Sanders. Cortland Sutton was looking, pretty damn good last year, but that was it. I mean, Tim Patrick had some good plays. Deshaun Hamilton had some good plays last year as well, but
he came on later last year.
He did later.
Yeah.
But now seeing how they're playing, I mean, I'm not worried about that. Here's what I am worried about. So I want to hear how you think we're going to go about this. We have 53 roster spots.
Yep.
We've lost. Janovich is supposed to come back, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Theo Riddick is supposed to come back. Probably about quarter way through. Theo Riddick.
Yeah.
Supposed to come back. And now Drew Lock. He's probably going to miss the first few games. Now he's just the backup. But if we want to say that we want to keep these 3 players, and I think there's a couple more that have sort of kind of been injured that might miss some time. Let's talk about these 3 at first. Yeah. If we want to say that we want to keep these 3 players on the active roster and we just scratch them off every week, we only really have 50 roster spots, which that's going to hurt the depth somewhere.
Sure.
For at least the first quarter of the season. And I probably jinxed it last night because somebody on the Halftime Hash show asked, what are the odds that we're going to carry 3 quarterbacks? And I said, there is absolutely no way we're going to carry 3 quarterbacks on the active roster. And now I have to eat my words because I think that's the only thing. If we want Drew Lock back, after game 4 or 5 versus waiting until halfway through the season, that's what we're going to have to do is carry 3 quarterbacks at least on the roster and dressing up 2 a week. So where do you think that's what's going to happen is we're going to keep these guys off of IR, or are we going to put one of them on IR? And where is that going to hurt us the most? Because again, we're going to have to cut somebody to leave those spots open for them.
Sure. And, it's that situation where you have to kind of wait and see with Drew Lock's thumb sprain, especially to see if maybe he's the candidate to go on IR designated to return or what you decide to do there. That was, like you said, the chances of us not carrying 3 quarterbacks now is basically out the window.
I can't believe I said that. You can blame me. I jinxed it.
Right. No, we're going to talk about later how much you've disappointed Broncos.
That's a topic you already have planned to talk about?
Yeah, no,
that's already okay.
But suffice it to say, it was pretty drastically. Anyway, so it's just that kind of thing where now, like you say, we've got to figure out where that depth is going to come from. It's probably going to have to. You might have wanted to keep an extra wide receiver on the roster who you thought was really intriguing. You might have wanted to keep an extra running back who you thought showed you something, came on late at the end of camp, what have you. An extra inside linebacker that you maybe thought was one guy out of 25 who stood out to you on special teams. These are the guys who are going to get cut, and some other roster is going to pick them up to fill out the bottom of their roster, and that's just the way it's going to have to go. It stinks, but it's one of those kind of unavoidable preseason things where you just hope that it doesn't get drastically worse. I'm not going to say anything else other than other teams have had it a little worse. That's all I'll say. You look at a team like the LA Chargers who just lost Derwin James until November, and you are happy that your premier players, knock on wood, have been spared so far. But you hope and pray that that continues to be the case. You thank goodness that only your depth has been hit so far, and you hope that it's only it doesn't get any worse between here and opening day, because all we can really do it for injuries is hold our breath and pray a little bit.
I said this last week at the beginning of the show. I'm gonna say it this week as well. Hey guys, everything's fine. It's all fine. Everything's fine. Doesn't matter. It's fine. We're all fine.
There are no problems in
We're all
Broncos
fine.
country. Everything is great.
I have that meme saved here now, so I can sit here and say, yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine.
And a fine evening to you, Victor. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, definitely. Good to see you. Victor's been around a couple times too. Glad to see you, man. Guys, keep posting your comments. Questions are going to be here for a little while longer, at least. Joshua says, I think he's talking to me. Says you're a big man for admitting that, Mr. B. So, I mean, I can admit where I screw up. Whether it's the audio or I start the show a little late or something, or if I jinx the team.
I thought were going to be difference makers on the team who ended up being cut over the years. Let's not even get into it, okay? It's an art, not a science in this game.
I'm a difference maker. Right now, it's not in a good way, but I can say I'm a difference maker.
Clearly, one of the biggest difference makers that we have here at Orange Weekly. I mean, if difference maker was a title, it would be on Kev Dan's desk right now.
That's okay. Yeah, I mean, I got enough other stuff on my desk, so might as well add some more, right? Joshua asks, how many people can we sign for the practice squad? I believe it's 10 people. Yeah. So think about, we have 90-ish players right now. We have to get down to 53, which really, I mean, we have 50 spots now. If we're going to keep, I'd just say we're going to keep 3 of those for people we want to come back before halfway through the season. But then 10 of those are going to the practice squad. So really, with 30 people or so, we're going to get cut. And that's always tough to see, especially, I mean, there's usually 1 or 2 big surprises that, I can't believe we had to cut that person. That's the way it is. We can't carry 54 players.
Nope.
We have to carry 53. So along those lines, David, is there anyone that do you see anyone being a heartbreak cut come time for us to get down to 53 and we're just all going to sit here and go, God, it would have been really nice if we could have made room for him?
I don't know about heartbreaking. There are a couple of practice.
I was just a nickname. I was just a nickname or whatever.
Sure. There's a couple of guys who you hope end up on the practice squad after they get cut. Guys like maybe Kelvin McKnight and Trinity Benson, some depth wide receivers who maybe just aren't going to be able to find a spot on this team on the active roster, but guys who have shown enough in training camp and in preseason games to make you think there's some talent there. I want to see what develops there, especially given our dearth of talent at returner.
Right.
We talked about it a little bit earlier, but there has been no guy who has stood out to me as somebody who has really taken the reins on that job. And maybe one of those young receivers is a guy who you want to keep around during the season to see if maybe he can develop into that as your season goes forward, and you're not going to have an opportunity to do it. So you stash him on the practice squad. Those are 2 names that I'm really looking out for. The depth in the defensive secondary. I think we've had guys in previous years who have maybe been tough cuts there, tough guys that you didn't necessarily want to lose. Now it's looking like maybe our group is set there. The guys that you want to be on the roster have maybe separated themselves a little bit from the guys who aren't going to be playing football in September. Sure. So that's kind of my area that I'm really looking for, is those kind of wide receivers, especially some of those deep speed threats that just aren't going to have room on this roster.
Okay. Hey guys, if you're watching, I want you to share. Let's go around the horn a little bit. Share something that you're excited about, that you see that's really good. And we want to know one of your concerns as well. Let's go around the horn and kind of see what everyone else is thinking. But while we do that, again, guys, hit that share button for us. Really appreciate it. The show's still going on. And then, maybe we're not live, but people can watch later. And, of course, find out about us for next week's show. But we have some injuries, and I want to look at the schedule. So let's just say, we're going to lose people for probably 3 or 4 games. And if that's the case, obviously, week 1, I can't say that I'm not worried about it. I'm worried about it because it's week 1. And there's still going to be a lot of rough edges. It's kind of like another preseason game, except it counts. And it's the Raiders. So, I mean, that's double whammy. But then we got some tough teams, man. We got the Bears. We got Green Bay. We got Jacksonville. We're away, home. And then we got the Chargers. Man, if we're going to be losing some key players, I mean, it's the backup quarterback is supposed to be that that insurance. You know what I mean? But if we don't have Drew Lock, I'm a little worried about it. So we have a really I want to say a tough start to the season, and some of these losses are really going to hurt us. Do you see what do you see coming from all that?
Well, and that's, one of the reasons that I think Broncos country maybe has to temper expectations as far as playoffs this season.
Oh
It's
no,
just because
I'm still sticking to the 11-5. We got to clean up a couple big areas. I'm still saying 11-5.
Right. You know what? And that's, and I love the optimism. I really do. But the big question mark that we talked about earlier, the offensive line is going to have to come up together in an awful hurry if we're going to get there. We've got the Raiders first week. We all know that. But then second week, like you said, bam, right to the Chicago Bears, who are not soft in the front seven. Vic Fangio knows better than anybody what that team can do. He coached them up really well last year, and they showed out. And I don't think there's really any reason to expect a big drop-off from them this year. So, you've got them in week 2. You travel to Green Bay in week 3. Like, that's an easy place to play. Jaguars in week 4, that's a team that a lot of people are picking to kind of take a big bounce back this year. Yeah. We'll see if that comes out or not. But, you can't just assume that they're not going to do well. You've got to assume that that's going to be a rough team. The Chargers, Joey Bosa, Melvin Ingram, that's a pretty decent pass rushing tandem there. Titans, then Chiefs. It's tough defenses all the way up until then, and then you've got the Colts, which that's not a walkover team either. There's no easy teams on this schedule until the Bills is the first one that stands out to me as a team that was really awful last year. And do you know when that game is, Kev?
When?
11/24/19, end of November. So. I mean, listen, I love the enthusiasm, and I believe this team is a lot better than the 5-11 team than we saw last year.
Right.
But we'll just have to see how fast they can come together.
I mean, I'm trying to give that unbiased reporting, right?
Sure,
I want to sit here and look at everything objectively, and I like to be optimistic. But you're right. Let's temper expectations. Look, if we steal some of these wins, especially against the Chargers and the Chiefs, and we win some other games that we're not really supposed to win. I mean, it's possible, okay, but it's not a shoo-in by any means. I completely agree. But it's something to really watch for, and I think these injuries are really gonna. I think they're gonna have a bigger impact on us in that first quarter of the season than I'd like to admit right now. I mean, before these injuries, I'm sitting here going, yeah, we can go 3-1. We could even go 4-1 in the first 5 games. And now, no. I mean, Drew Lock hopefully won't be that big of a problem. He's not there, but Theo Riddick, Janovich, Austin Ford is gone for the season. I mean, these names are something that not only just, I mean, they're a huge part of how we're going to run the offense. And it
was just a season where if you really wanted to go very, very far, you had the ceiling to do it, but you need a lot of things to go right. And having injuries at positions like that to guys who weren't going to be, superstars for your team, but who you expected to be starters every single week or big time contributors every single week, and to not have them for a significant portion of the beginning of the season is one of the things that you needed to go right for you, and it didn't. So the other things now have to go right for you in a correspondingly larger amount as we move forward.
Yep. Joshua, well, Trevor says preseason sucks. I'm over it. I already said I'm over it. The fact that we had that 5th game, I hate that we had to play in the Hall of Fame game. I hate
pretty epic rant that you had there about preseason.
I know, right?
Quite frankly, I agree. I love watching football as much as anybody, but good God, can we move it along now?
Now, I did plan that rant that I went. I mean, I wrote it out. I practiced it today, actually.
Sure.
I mean, that's why it was so epic. Yeah. But Trevor, I agree.
That in Chicago, LA, or I mean, is it just here?
Just here at Orange Weekly, just for you guys. Well, I don't want to share it with anyone else.
Because everybody else is missing out.
It's just for you guys.
Yeah.
Joshua says major concern is special teams play. I think we covered that. Completely agree. He loves seeing that Emmanuel Sanders is back to his outstanding self, and he's going to be a huge part of the offense. Tim says Denver always gets a tough season schedule. Yeah, and it doesn't hurt that. I mean, like you said, we have the Chargers and the Chiefs in our division, as always. Kyle, love to see we have that nasty O-line in Reisner, and it makes and what it makes. So Reisner's the best player on the offensive line, if you ask me. We haven't really talked about him yet, so hold on. We'll get to him in a second. But Josh says, I think I'm beating a dead horse back to life mentioning our horrible special teams. We can talk about that all day, man. You're not wrong. Kyle, concerned. He's concerned in bowls and the special teams punt and kick return. I'm seeing a pattern here.
Yeah.
Joshua, I hope Reisner play can transition to the other offensive linemen. To completely agree. Victor did ask a question. So I want to answer that. It says, gentlemen, what does Joe need to succeed for the offseason after he is since he is a Super Bowl champ? And I think I saw he's the third Super Bowl MVP to get traded to another team after that. So yeah, David, what does he? What are your keys to success for Joe Flacco specifically?
Well, my keys to success for Joe Flacco are fairly simple. He is in an offense that he is very, very comfortable with, as he said, and we've said on the show before. He needs everybody else in the offense to get on the same page with him. I think he is there as far as knowing this offense, kind of knowing its ins and outs, knowing what he has the freedom to do and what not to do. He just needs everybody else on the offense to get on the same page with him, which sounds simple and complicated as hell at the same time. But I think we're starting to see them come together a little bit. I think when you saw the success that they were having moving the ball in between the 20s last night, you are starting to see a team that can put together drives and knows what they're about on offense, knows what they want to be, even if they can't establish that identity right this minute. But that's going to be key, is them establishing that identity, is putting their foot in the ground and saying, we're a running team that will absolutely decimate you through the air if we have to, because we have the talent to do it. We want to run first. We want our passing game to go through that run game. And that's what our quarterback's philosophy is going to be. He's going to set up those big plays down the field with the run game to keep the defense honest. And that's what we need to see. Joe Flacco's on that page. If we can get the rest of the offense, especially the offensive line, like we've been saying, on that same page with him, we're going to see some pretty good things out of Joe Flacco this year.
And I think that, man, I still say that the success of an offense relies on mostly on the offensive line. You could have Peyton Manning there, and I hate Tom Brady, but you have Tom Brady there. But if you can't keep them standing, they're not great quarterbacks.
The 2015 AFC Championship comes to mind, especially with Tom Brady, as to keeping them standing and their effectiveness. That was pretty good memory. But you're totally right. You can't keep your guys off your quarterback, especially a quarterback like Joe Flacco, who kind of has, I don't want to say an injury history, but he's not the healthiest guy to ever play the position.
Right.
So, you keep him clean, your chances improve dramatically.
Completely agree. But I think Reisner, if we can, and it's crazy, it's not crazy, it's fantastic that Reisner, a rookie, is playing the way he is. And it's only preseason.
A guy whose name you don't hear.
Yeah.
You plugged him in as a starting guard right away, and you don't hear his name, which
is
exactly what you want.
That's why you hear Garrett Bowles' name all the time. It's not for good things.
No,
you
don't hear an offensive lineman's name in relation to good things. That just doesn't happen. If you don't hear his name at all, that means he's doing the good things.
Exactly. If you're hearing how awesome the quarterback played, if you're hearing how awesome the run game was, I guarantee you the majority of the reason that worked and that it was good was the offensive line. So you're exactly right. I don't want to hear anything about the offensive line other than an occasional, wow, that's really good. They did really good today. But that's the only thing I want to hear, because otherwise it's something bad. It's something bad. So if Reisner can be that stake in the ground, that something that the offensive line can really build around, that's obviously, I think the best, for me, that's the most likely course to success that we can have for the offensive line.
Yeah, with the coaching of Munchak and the emergence of Reisner, there's possibilities there.
There are.
Absolutely.
Okay, David, we're getting close to the end of the show, but before we do, everyone who's watching, really appreciate it. Guys, remember, if you want a chance to win this Peyton Manning, I know everybody likes free stuff, right? So if you want a chance to win it, if I can find it, here we go. Wait. Oh, there we go. If you want a chance to win this. Yeah.
While you're finding this, people are going to have to enter like 2 or 3 times, because certain Orange Weekly staff members, who I'm not going to name, it was me, may have made 2, 3, 4, 5 accounts to contribute there. Just had to make some chances available because that thing's cool.
It is no,
Yeah,
it
it's and let me tell you all right now, it was not just offered to the rest of us before it was put on the Patreon. All right, because it would have gotten snapped up. So
I mean, I'm gonna buy it for whoever wins it. And right
yeah,
now,
oh yeah,
Eric Landers has the 100% win. So if you guys
yeah.
don't just want to let him win it right away, please go support us on our Patreon. I know I'm gonna buy one for myself as well, because why not? If you guys, I mean, I'd like to say that Orange Weekly staff members are excluded from this, but if you have different accounts, I can't tell. But anyway, right now, just Eric Landers who has the chance of winning it. So. But seriously, we appreciate you guys' support, and if you could go help us out there as well. I mean, I need to make some money to feed myself. I'm just kidding. I have a job, but it's okay.
I
Seriously,
need Broncos jersey money, you guys. That Bradley Chubb.
I wasn't gonna say it.
No, that Bradley Chubb color rush jersey isn't cheap. Okay, it's certainly not free. All right, but I'm gonna need one of those bad boys before the season ends. So
100%.
keep contributing, guys.
Seriously, you guys are all awesome for watching. So go donate there if you can, and we're gonna be giving you some exclusive content as well. There's gonna be also probably some mini giveaways like these Mr. B pins that currently is hiding behind my mic. David has as well. They're very nice. If you guys want to do that as well. So just keep checking the Patreon, and we'll have plenty of updates and stuff for you guys there. David, let's see. Joshua says, let's not mention Bulls for a week and see if... Okay, David, hold me to this next week. We're not going to talk about Bulls. Whatever happens.
Bulls embargo.
Josh, we need you to watch next week, and if we say that, you need to call us out on it. We will not talk about Garrett Bowles next week.
I'm not even really sure who you're talking about right now.
Who?
Yeah.
What?
Great.
I forgot what I was saying.
Perfect.
David, over to you for closing thoughts, man.
Man, we're coming up to the third preseason game. This is, of course, the quote unquote dress rehearsal for the regular season, where you see your starters play for maybe a quarter or up to a quarter and a half. And you think, you get the best idea that you can out of that. We'll see how it comes. Like we talked about earlier, the Rams are a tough team and a good test to have come on in to town. We'll just have to see how it works out. I'm excited. I think our first team offense is going to go out there and surprise people a little bit this upcoming week. I think they're going to be a little better, and I think they're going to come out, especially the offensive line, is going to come out with a little bit better intensity and be pushing guys off the ball a little bit. That's what I'm going to be watching for this week. That's kind of my prediction to see what happens. Maybe a little optimism mixed in there, but it's the second week of preseason. If you can't be optimistic now, when is the time, Broncos Country?
You can just be optimistic all the time like I am.
Truth.
It's a very nice...
until we ain't.
It's very nice to live in my happy little world and pretend like everything's fine. Yeah. But no, I completely agree. Guys, it is still a vanilla offense. If we lose, whatever, it's still preseason. But I like to see those guys go out there, especially the offensive line. I know we talked about that a million times. Just dominate the line for once. I don't want them to play any longer than they absolutely have to. These guys are veterans. Joe Flacco knows what he's doing. Emmanuel Sanders knows what he's doing. Phillip Lindsay, Booker, Freeman, they all know what they're doing. So I mean, I don't really understand why it's their last real chance to get some time playing together before the first regular season game. I get that, but man, the way our injuries are going, I really, really am hoping that we walk away from a game without any injuries.
Get the football gods on the phone, because I'll tell you what, I will make this deal right now. If we can walk away from this game with 0 injuries, the final score can be whatever they want. I do not care what the final score is. It can be 63-0. Take it, move on to the next week, get ready for the regular season in a heartbeat. Call somebody up, make it happen.
Speaking of the football gods, I did call Peyton Manning today, and I told him exactly that. I said, "Hey, I need you," and he said, "Who are you?" And then I felt bad.
You gotta stop calling here, man.
Seriously. I'm gonna block your number. I'm like, you blocked my number 3 times already. I just keep getting new phones.
Yeah, court orders are a thing, Kev Dan. That's all I'm gonna say.
But it hasn't gotten there yet.
And they're binding.
But no, I'm Tim says got to stay healthy. Josh says last comment here. I say if the first team starters on offense get a touchdown on the first drive, that's it. Put the second team starters out there on the field, 100%. I don't need to see a quarter from them. I don't need to see 2 quarters from them. One solid drive. And I mean, we had a solid drive this last week, right? Just again, stalled out in the red zone. I want these guys to get some confidence before the first game of the season. So that's just me. But yeah, I'm excited about it just because, again, there's still a lot to look for, and there's chances for us to improve. I know there's been talk about us maybe making some trades with the San Francisco 49ers for one of their offensive linemen that they didn't exercise the fifth-year option for him. I can't remember his name. As well as their punt returner. Again, can't remember his name. But those are some names that, man, I'd like to see us try and, give up a couple draft picks for some of those guys. We'll see what happens. But either way, I think we've talked, at length about the things we need to work on. And there are some good things, guys. So as you're watching the game Saturday night, try to keep that in mind. Just positive, minor improvements would be huge for us. So, David, unless you have anything else to add to that?
Nope, that's it. You covered it pretty well. Thanks for coming out, Broncos Country. Thanks for hitting that like, that share button. Thanks for giving us a retweet. It's always great to be here. Head over to Patreon and contribute, and we will see you next week. It's been so great. Thanks again, Broncos Country.
I'll be back here tomorrow night, hopefully with Tanner or somebody else. We'll see. For the Get Vocal show of the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, where we're going to break down some more of this stuff and kind of get more of your comments and feedback as to what you think we need to work on. So 7 p.m. Mountain Time tomorrow night, and then, of course, the halftime hash when we go live during every halftime of each Broncos game, just for you guys. And, David, I'm still surprised that nobody else has jumped on that train yet. We're still the only one that does a halftime show.
Yeah, we're waiting for everybody else to catch up, but until then, we don't mind cornering the market.
I've come up with some ideas for the show that I then see other shows try to duplicate. I'm just saying, maybe it's coincidence.
No, absolutely.
Seriously, Broncos Country, thanks for everything. I'll give you a good mile-high salute there. You guys are fantastic. Have a good week if I don't see you tomorrow. And then, of course, as always, go Broncos. And go Broncos. We got a nice special message here from Shelby Harris himself, probably the number one star from the game this last week. So we'll let him talk, and then we will talk to you guys later. Have a good night, guys. Go Broncos.
Hey guys, Shelby Harris here from the Denver Broncos. Just want to give a huge shout out to the podcast Orange Weekly. They do great work and have great content regarding the Broncos. Also, huge shout out to all the Denver Broncos fans out there. You guys have really just made my time in Denver amazing. And also, even when we were losing last year, you guys came out every game. So thank you guys, I appreciate you.
Now since 9-7, I ain't miss a game. Came up with TD and Rod Smith.